How do you manage to get credit or build credit when you don't have any credit? How do you get a credit card if no credit card company or bank wants to give you one because you have no credit? If you have bad credit, then you can find a credit repair service. But if you have no credit, you can't get an apartment because they'll want to check your credit and you'll have none, and you can't get a car either. You'll have to use cash for everything. What's also strange is that you can't get a credit card if you don't have any credit, so it's a little confusing if you're new to credit because you realize that you need credit or a credit score, but you don't have one, and to get anything that will help you to build your credit score, like a car loan or an apartment or even a credit card, you won't be approved for them because, again, you have no credit. Comment below and let me know if you've ever been in this position before and what you eventually did to get a credit score or to at least start building your credit. Share your method. So in this video, I'll be talking about the steps that you can and should take to build your credit when you have absolutely no credit. And having no credit also prevents you from opening bank accounts because most banks will do a soft pull on your credit, and if you have no credit score, then you'll be denied. It's like getting a job and they tell you that you need a bank account so you can get paid, and you go online and apply for a checking account and you get denied. That has actually happened to me in the past when I was first new to credit, so I'll tell you what I did and how it all worked out for me. Now, if you're new to the channel or you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, my name is Ian, and I post videos here on YouTube every single day on topics relating to making money and personal finance. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel and be sure to turn on all notifications, as that's the only way you'll be able to get the updates when I post new videos. And remember, I'll be posting a new video here every single day on YouTube. Now, in this video, I'm not going to tell you to go and buy a brand new car and have payments for 60 months just to get a good credit score. I actually think that is the worst possible advice you could get because, one, you'll be upside down in the car loan the day after you buy it, and two, you don't want to wait or you don't want to get yourself into debt for 5 or 6 years just to get a good credit score. So instead, I'm going to tell you how to get a very good credit score in 6 to 9 months, and this is going to cost you as little as possible. And when I say a good credit score in 6 to 9 months, I don't mean a 650 or a 690. I'm talking about an actually good credit score of 720 and over. There's also self or self-lender, as it was previously known as, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about here in this video. I actually wouldn't recommend that to anyone either. And while self or self-lender does work, I made videos about them and why I chose not to use them. One reason was that you would have to give self your money and lock that money in for a long time. And also, self is like opening up a certificate of deposit, but it works in the opposite way. Instead of getting a fixed interest rate on your money, you actually pay them a fixed interest rate for keeping your money. They also charge you fees, and if you watch my videos a lot, you'll know that I'm not a fan of fees. And every bank account or credit card or loan that I use is either completely free or as close to being free as you can possibly get. Now, it took me around 10 months to get to a 750. However, I should have gotten that much quicker or gotten there much quicker, but I made a couple mistakes along the way, and so I can tell you how to pull this off without making any of these mistakes. So ideally, I think you can get a very good and above average credit score in just 6 months, and if you give it 8 to 9 months, I know you can have a very good credit score of 700 and over. So the first way to build your credit, and actually there are about 4 easy ways to go about doing this, but I'm going to keep this video short and simple and to the point. Forget about the Experian boost. It works, but it's not going to show up everywhere. The first thing that you need to do is to get yourself a secured credit card, and this is free. So your bank, if you actually have a bank account, is going to tell you about their secured credit cards, and you don't want to take them unless it's completely free. Usually, secured credit cards aren't free. They come with a monthly fee of maybe $10 and also an annual fee and some other fees. Instead, get a secured credit card that is completely free, and I recommend the Discover It secured credit card because I actually used that one. This credit card or secured credit card allows you to send the bank some money in the form of a deposit, and then they'll extend you a credit line based on your deposit. So the minimum is $500 for the card I just mentioned. You deposit $500 and you get a secured credit card with a credit line of $500. The pros here are that there are no fees, no annual fees, no monthly fees, and this specific secured credit card gives you 2% in cash back in the first year and then 1% in cash back on everything you purchase afterwards. In fact, it actually gets you 2% in cash back on fuel and restaurant purchases all the time as well. Now, the main reason for this card is building your credit. So you want to get the card and you want to spend as little as you possibly can on it each month and then pay it off in full. So purchase a bottle of water or maybe something else, since bottled water is actually bad for the environment. But the point is, make one small purchase each month and pay it off in full. Your purchase needs to be under 10% of your available credit. So in this case, it would be $50. So you never want to have a balance of over $50 on the card. Now, there are 3 credit bureaus. Different lenders will use different scores from either of the 3 credit bureaus, or sometimes they'll look at all the scores and then choose the one in the middle, because all the scores will be slightly different. You may have a 750 at one, and then you may have a 760 at another, and then the other may show a 730. So this card reports your payments each month to all 3 credit bureaus, which means that they all get updated on a monthly basis and your score goes up faster. Another plus to using this card is that the initial deposit that you made will be returned to you after about 8 months of paying your credit card bills on time. And at that 8-month mark, Discover actually converts your secured credit card to an unsecured credit card, which means it's now a regular credit card and you get your deposit back. This is very good because this way you don't have to go and apply for another credit card if you don't need or want to in a few months after getting this secured credit card. This is the difference. Self or self-lender will have your money locked in for about 12 months and charge you fees. And here you can get this card and it won't cost you anything, and you get your money back much faster, and you still get to keep the card, and you also get cash back on all your purchases that you've made using this card while building your credit score. It's also very important that you don't have your credit pulled during this time. The account actually comes with a FICO score report, so you can follow it each month and you can see how your credit is improving, but you don't want to apply for any loans or other credit cards until at least 6 months after, because if you do, it's going to ding your credit score by 10 to 30 points on average when you're new to credit. This brings us to the second thing that you don't have to do, but if you're impatient and you just want a very good credit score as quickly as possible, you can do this as well, and this is something that I did. Now remember, I just said that you shouldn't pull your credit again for a while, and so if you're going to do this second step, I would recommend that you do it within the same week of applying for this secured credit card. This way, both these inquiries fall off your credit report sooner. It takes about 12 months for points lost to credit inquiries to fall off or to stop affecting your credit score. So if you applied for the secured credit card today and then you pulled your credit 2 months from now, and then in 12 months, you would still have that second inquiry negatively impacting your score. If you did them at the same time, then in 12 months, you would have nothing negatively affecting your credit score, at least not from inquiries. So the second thing that you can or should do here is to get a secured personal loan. And this is somewhat like the service that Self-Lender offers, but Self is going to charge you higher interest and fees up front. If you go to, let's say, a credit union, they're going to charge you less interest and most likely no upfront fees. So the amount on the loan here is not important. The main purpose to have a loan is that it reports on your credit every month. So walk into the credit union and deposit the minimum amount that you possibly can in a certificate of deposit. Maybe it's only $10 or $50 or $100. You then borrow the same amount of money in the form of a personal secured loan. You have to do it this way since you have no credit and the bank or credit union isn't going to lend you money without a credit score. You then borrow this money and you choose the longest repayment period that you can. So for example, I went with $100 over 24 months. This now positively affects your credit in 2 ways. Firstly, you have 2 positive payments reported on your credit each month instead of 1, and you also have 2 different types of credit accounts. You'll have a revolving line of credit and you have an installment loan. These are the 2 main types of credit, and this mix accounts for 10% of your overall credit score, as you can see here, and this is what makes up your credit score. The only thing that should be negatively affecting your credit score after 6 to 9 months is your credit history, and that's because it will only be a couple months old. If everything else is done right, you should have that 700 plus credit score. Now, one other important tip is to never miss a payment or be late on a payment. That will destroy your credit, so stay on top of your payments, especially when you're building your credit and you're new to credit. So getting a car loan using Self, using Experian Boost, they work, but it's going to cost you to use those services, and you can build your credit much faster for free or next to free. If you're new to credit, I would suggest you check out my other video on the Discover Secured Credit Card, and I'll leave a link to it here on the screen. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can find me on Instagram, send me a message, and I'll be certain to respond. I hope you guys found this video very helpful, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as that's the way these videos get recommended to more people here, can potentially help someone else as well, and I'll really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out some of my other videos here on credit cards, banking apps, savings accounts, investments, ways to make money, and much more. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and be sure to turn on all notifications to this channel, as that's the only way you'll be able to get the updates of when I post new videos. And remember, I'll be posting a new video here every single day on YouTube. I'm also leaving a couple links down below to free stuff and free cashback offers, which also includes a $50 in statement credit on your first statement if you choose to go with that Discover It Secured credit card. So be sure to check all the links down below in the description for all kinds of free stuff. Now, if you haven't already seen my other videos on credit cards, I'll leave a link to a playlist here, and I have several videos on credit and credit cards. Once again, I hope this video was very helpful. All the best with building your credit, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.